Hey, how's it going? This is Eddie, and this is the first video of 2017 on this channel. Super excited to be back, and I hope you all had a good New Year's, fun party times and celebrations, good fireworks. The fireworks in Brisbane were meh. I saw some videos of the fireworks in Sydney, they looked amazing. But anyway, I'm gonna make this video short and sweet because it's just going to be me talking about motivation and practice, what's it called? Practice resolution? New Year's resolution, sorry, mental blank. So how to really make a resolution, a resolve to make your dreams come true. So there's two categories that I want to talk about, push and pull motivation. And for different people, you will need to think from a different paradigm, okay? So this is how I view it in my head. New Year's resolution is great for reaching a paradigm of self-responsibility and self-accountability. So it's going from zero motivation to push motivation, where you're pushing for your goals. You're basically deciding, you know what, I've been dealt a hand in life and I'm gonna make the most of it. You're gonna stop complaining or making excuses about how you started learning violin late, why you started when you were 8 but you couldn't afford to because you had to get another job, or why you're not talented, or why you don't have the money. And I know these aren't excuses, they're reasons, but the point is, from the paradigm of having New Year's resolution, is basically saying, okay, all of these things may be true, but hey, I have one life, it's short, and I want to play the violin, or I want to look this way, or I want to do this, and I'm sick of procrastinating, I'm sick of telling myself these reasons of why I'm not who I want to be, and I'm just going to go for it. And even if I fail, it doesn't matter, I'm just going to go for it. And that's push motivation, and that's super cool, I highly respect it. It also means using willpower to make a habit. Okay, so if you need to practice more, I've talked about this before, make a 28-day challenge or 30-day challenge and set yourself an amount that you need to make, a practice limit, a minimum practice amount that you need to make every day. So you force yourself, you stick to it no matter what, and you don't make any excuses. That is the biggest key, because the moment you make one excuse, that same set of excuses you're going to apply to whatever incidents. So you want to get this momentum going, you want to get it into a habit, a routine, so it feels easy and natural, so you start heading down the right direction. So that's push motivation. If you are someone that you find yourself procrastinating a lot, making excuses, or if you just have a lot of limiting beliefs, right? Try adding a bit of drive, a little bit of action, less ideas. Again, I've talked about this before. Ideas are great, but they need to be balanced by action. So really recommend you to just go for it, action, execute, and see if you can achieve your big goals in a short amount of time. Challenge yourself, right? Why can't I achieve my 1-2 year goals in 6 months time? Alright? Now, the other side of the story that I want to talk about is a different paradigm altogether. And this will apply for people, not so much the people that are lacking motivation, in the sense that they can't bring themselves to practice enough, or they can't bring themselves to just go for it. But instead, this is for the people that feel a little bit burnt out, or people that have been practicing a lot and now they're losing a little bit of the soul in their eyes, okay? People that already know how to be disciplined and exercise willpower, but for whatever reason, they keep falling off the bandwagon. So this might be someone that keeps, they'll practice for a month a lot, and then they'll spend another month where they don't practice, alright? So how to create a long-term sustainable motivation. And for this, I think you need to reach an even different paradigm, okay? One where it's less stress now, less push and more pull motivation. So for this set, and if you haven't reached the push motivations, I don't think you want to think about this, but don't worry too much about this aspect, alright? Just get out there and practice. But for the pull motivation, I want you to instead relax and chill out. And these are for people like me back in uni who compulsively needed to practice. I'll be sitting at coffee with my friends, I'll be like, oh, I need to practice, I can't enjoy my life, I can't go to movies. I knew so many people like this at uni, and there were so many burnouts, so many just really depressed and sad and anxious musicians, okay? So if this is you, for people like you, and I was here myself, it is actually harder to just sit still than to think that you need to practice. You're like constantly, compulsively need to practice. So I would actually challenge you to take a break or to sit still, and you will feel anxiety, you will feel scared. You're like, no, every moment that I'm not practicing, I'm getting worse. And here I want to debunk a few beliefs right now. Number one is more practice equals better results. That every extra bit of sweat that you cringe at, every extra hour that you sacrifice from your soul is gonna get you that much better. That is a lie. It's not even true, and it's very unhealthy, okay? So you need to drop that paradigm. Second thing I would say is really question why you're doing this. Why do you need to? And every answer that you get, ask again why. So say, I want to practice because I want to be better. Why do I want to be better? I want to be better so I can have a career in music. Why do you want a career in music? And not to say any of these motivations are bad, but you often find a lot of random motivations like that seep in, like I want to please my parents, or I want to please my peers, or I feel like I need to live up to an expectation. And if you dial it all back, you realize that on the base level, most of us operate because we want pain. We want to seek pleasure or want to avoid pain. And so why do we do things? Because it makes us happy, right? It either makes us happy or makes us stay away from pain. And a lot of us that fall into this rat race of practice. Somewhere along the line, our default has switched from I'm a full, natural, good human being practicing to I am not good enough, I'm not talented enough, and in order to become good enough, I need to practice harder than everyone else so then I can feel good about myself, okay? So now your default is that if I don't do anything, I'm a failure. Sorry, some memory card space ran out. So instead, challenge these underlying assumptions. And the analogy I would say is, what if today you were already the most successful, rich billionaire, you had $1 billion, everyone loved you, you had all the skills that you wanted. What would you dedicate your time to doing? What would you want to do? What actually matters in your life? And you're fine. Are you gonna stop working? Maybe for 6 months and party straight, but after that you're gonna have to find, things to do, things to make meaning of your life, and you will find work to do. You will find work. And this work is gonna be much more meaningful than this work that you think that you should do, because you no longer need to fill in a bank account, or you no longer need to please people. And I know this is hypothetical, it's very idealistic, but try to take that metaphor to practice. So if today you didn't need to feel the need to prove yourself or to catch up to that other violinists in your cohort that's better than you, or to win this competition or win this audition. If you don't have that stress of being like, if I'm not good enough, I can't make a career as a musician. And all of that, just let go. And you're just there with your violin, your instrument, and you're stuck in a room. What would you practice? What would you want to improve? And this for me was such a huge boom, like it completely skyrocketed my improvement. I've actually improved much more this last year on like 2 hours practice a day. I'm not even kidding. As opposed to my 4 or 5 hours practice a day back in my uni. Because in uni I was constantly stressed. I felt like I need to practice and I burnt out. It's like all my practice was like my mental grunt. My brain was like got all this like gears grinding, like oh my god, what's happening? And now I'm just like, because of I'm in a lucky situation where basically on my online videos on TwoSet, I no longer feel the traditional classical need to be immaculately perfect, right? To like play these audition excerpts without making one slight error. And so now I look at my own practice and I go, what do I actually want to work on to improve? And I noticed there's a lot of fundamental issues that I needed to improve. Things that I never had time for, you know. I didn't have time to work on open strings because I had Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto to practice. Well, now you step away, you stop, you give yourself time to do the things that actually matter. So, pull motivation, finding the inspiration, the things that you really should be doing and want to do by denoising and decluttering the stress. So, push and pull for a new year, see which one will apply to you. And next week, I will be making a practical video to balance this very philosophical rant. Goodbye.